All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a world where your childhood memories are crashing right into Wall Street. I mean, we're talking about the things you used to love becoming serious, high-stakes investments. It's the incredible boom in collectibles, and believe me, it is a wild ride.
I know, it sounds a little out there, right? But seriously, what if that dusty box of comics in the attic, or those baseball cards you used to have, could actually be a real financial asset? This isn't just some fantasy. For a lot of people, this is the new reality. And if you need any proof of just how high the stakes have gotten, just look at this number, $10.1 million. That is the price a game-worn Michael Jordan jersey from the '98 NBA Finals actually sold for. We're talking about absolutely jaw-dropping, life-changing money. So here's the bottom line. We've moved so far beyond this just being a simple pastime. Collectibles are now a totally serious asset class. They're competing for attention and money right alongside traditional things like stocks, bonds, and real estate. The game is just completely changed. Okay, so the big question is, why is all of this happening right now? What is fueling this new gold rush? Let's break down the perfect storm of factors that are behind this whole market explosion.
You know, what's fascinating here is you can see exactly what's driving this. Nostalgia, that's the big one, 40%. It's people wanting to own a piece of their past. But look at technology. At 30%, it's a huge accelerator. I'm talking about places like eBay, where trading card sales just surged an insane 142% in 2020 alone. You add in scarcity and that recent pandemic boom, and you have the perfect recipe for a market explosion.
And listen, this has been a long time coming. You can see the whole journey right here. It started with simple little promo items in tobacco packs way back in the late 1800s. Then we had the golden era of Topps cards, and then bam! The eBay revolution in the 2000s changed everything, all leading up to that unprecedented pandemic boom.
So, inside this giant market, there are three absolute powerhouses that get most of the attention and, honestly, the biggest money. Let's see how these big three really stack up against each other.
This table really lays out the DNA for each one. So for sports cards, the holy grail is always the rookie card. Its value is tied directly to how well that player performs, which makes the market super volatile. Then you've got comics. Here, it's all about first appearances. Think about a superhero's debut, right before they get a blockbuster movie deal. The biggest risk there? The physical condition of the book. And finally, memorabilia. This is about owning a piece of history, but the number one danger, by far, is authenticity. You have to watch out for fakes.
But you know, beyond all the numbers and the risks, there's this really powerful emotional current running through everything. These things, they aren't just assets. They're tangible connections to our heroes, to our culture, to our own stories. That's the magic, right? That's what really drives this whole market.
So maybe you get the market and you're thinking, okay, I'm interested. How do you actually get in on the action and do it the smart way? Well, let's get into the investor's playbook. This is your guide to winning.
First things first, you have to know this word, provenance. It's basically the documented history of an item, who owned it, where it came from, the whole story. And especially with memorabilia, provenance is everything. Without solid proof, $1 million item is pretty much worthless. It is the ultimate stamp of authenticity.
And that leads us right to grading. Think of these third-party companies like PSA for cards or CGC for comics as the gatekeepers of the market. They verify that something is real, and they give it a grade based on its condition. Getting an item professionally graded, or slabbed, creates the trust and transparency you need to unlock its true financial value. It's just a non-negotiable step for any serious investor. So, where do you actually begin? Here's a super simple 4-step plan. First, start small. Focus on a player or a series that you genuinely love. Next, get your most important items graded to protect your investment. Then, and this is crucial, join online communities. You'll learn from the pros, learn how to spot fakes, and see trends before they explode. And finally, be patient. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a long-term play.
And as you get into this, you're going to face this constant dilemma. You've got to balance the passion of the collector's heart with the clear-headed logic of the investor's head. The most successful people in this space, they find a way to honor the story and the nostalgia while still making really smart, data-driven decisions about their assets.
All right, let's bring it all home. What's the final score here? Let's take a look at where this incredible market is heading and what the future holds for passion, for profit, and for the collectibles of tomorrow.
You know, the future is already here, and it is moving fast.
We're seeing a huge shift to digital with things like NFTs. There's fractional ownership, which is making it possible for everyday people to own a tiny piece of a multi-million-dollar card. And, of course, new generations are defining what's cool and what's valuable, shifting the focus to more modern pop culture and new icons.
At the end of the day, when you boil it all down, the real value isn't just in the cardboard or the ink, it's in the narrative. In this world, every single item tells a story of a triumph, of a hero, of one specific moment in time that we all just want to hold on to. And that really brings us to the final thought. As this market keeps blending history with finance, passion with profit, the only real question left for you to answer is this: what story will your collection tell?